if memory serves me correct, I think it was Abraham Lincoln that says a house divided cannot stand. And if we're looking at what's happening in the Republican Party or even just on the right in general, you have these bad faith individuals that are trying to disrupt and trying to cause division. So you have people that classify themselves as being on the far right that want to take over the actual factions of the right, the people that have a little bit more common sense. See, extremism is on both sides of the aisle. If you want to say that there are both sides of the aisle, I just say you've got dingbats on either end. Doesn't matter what end it is, you've still got a bunch of lunatics that just want to cause division and want to cause chaos, right? Doesn't matter if you want to say they're on the left or the right. Seemingly, those that are on the left end spectrum, they're just as bad as each other. They're both violent, but the radical leftists types, the dingbats over there, they get more aggressive because they're the more emotional ones. They don't have reason, sound, logic, nothing like that, because none of their arguments really hold up against those on the right. Okay? Now, we've seen lots and lots of radical leftist violence, considering lots of the ideologies that espouse from the radical left are pretty nuts. Doesn't mean to say that those on the far right, like Nick Fuentes, like Alex Jones, for example, and even, I guess you could consider her an infiltrator now on the far right because she hates Israel, Candace Owens. So all these people are now infiltrating on the right. They're causing a great deal of division, and they don't care. They don't care what it does. I mean, Ian Carroll being another provocateur in the mix, they call themselves on the right, but really what they're doing is trying to destroy not only the Republican Party, but conservatism in general. And it's wrong. It's really, really wrong. And you got to be watching very, very closely to those people that are relatively consistent in their speech. And are they telling the truth versus those that are not? Right? Now, there's a video that I saw today, and I guess we want someone like Megyn Kelly to actually listen to it because it's imperative. A number of conservative influencer types like Dinesh D'Souza, for example, Ben Shapiro. I don't know if you can consider Erin Moran as one of them, but Gad Sad, definitely. They've spoken out about this bad behavior on the right side of the aisle. This commentary that I've been hearing time and time and time again, it's just causing problems. And I think it needs to change. I think it needs to stop. I mean, even Nick Fuentes yesterday was saying that apparently Matt Walsh wants to offer him an olive branch. Why would he do that? Don't know. They say these crazy things because they can. They're living in conspiratorial land, and it gets them clicks, but they don't realize the damage that they're doing to actually the solid base, the ones that actually aren't conspiratorial, the ones that actually do support Israel and for damn good reason, and those that actually, believe in truth. And I think we need to believe in truth more so today than ever before. Because like I said in one of my previous videos, conspiracy theories are now at the forefront and they're now more profitable than ever before. So have a watch of Ben Shapiro and Dinesh D'Souza pretty much talking about the provocateurs, the right people that are trying to cause a divide. Even more so, you got people on the left as well. And you got loads of people on the far right that are going, we need to unite. And even Matt Walsh was saying that we need to unite with those on the right, apparently, which I think is, we don't unite with extremism. That should be simple, right? But anyway, have a watch of this.
Everybody who is not on the sort of extreme wing of the conspiratorial right, those are the ones who are wrecking the party by not accepting the extreme wing of the conspiratorial right that is constantly attacking inside the party. It's a wild supposition. Here's Alex Jones. This was, again, within the last 48 hours.
From what I've heard, Bondi's not bad. She's just lazy. Bongino's emotional and a big baby. Patel is compromised, and it's just so sad.
I mean, like, I just have to wonder, is that, who's dividing? Who's the big divider? Again, politics is a coalitional business, and people can vote for whomever they want. But the question now is not about voting. The question right now is about who gets to define the message and the future of the Republican Party. That's an ongoing battle all the time. That's an ongoing battle on the right. And if you don't call this stuff out, you end up with the right-wing version of AOC running your party. So yes, obviously, when it comes to the political party, when it comes to the Republican Party, when it comes to the conservative movement, some standards must be applied because the standards end somewhere. So the question is, which standard gets applied? How broad should that standard be? How much should certain people be respected who are trying to seize leadership of that standard and carry the banner forward? Anti-left is an electoral strategy. But we are not talking here about an electoral strategy. We are talking about who gets to lead the movement, how that should be dealt with, how bad ideas ought to be condemned. And if you're not willing to do that on your own side, then frankly, I don't have a lot of respect for you when you're attacking the other side for doing it.
What's at stake here is not Megyn Kelly's sort of pontifical authority as a sort of evaluator of who's anti-Semitic or not. It's really her stance as a kind of brave, independent journalist who follows the facts where they go and calls balls and strikes the way they are. And so when she rather candidly says, Candace is a young mom, I feel for her. Well, I mean, one could say Merrick Garland is a nice grandfather and he's got some really cute grandkids. And why are you going after him? Joe Biden, this poor guy can barely sit up straight. He's got to be fed out of a spoon. Why are you criticizing him in public?
An angle that you can empathize with or an element to them that you can humanize. We're humans, of course.
Right. So either you want to be that kind of outspoken independent journalist, and I think that is her podcast brand.
Yeah.
So in a way, she's jeopardizing that brand herself. No one's doing it to her. She's doing it herself. It would almost like if I were to say something like, I've got all this cinematic footage for my next film, but I'm not going to show it. And you'd be like, well, what kind of a filmmaker are you? If that's a topic you're covering, you actually have the goods and you're going to hold them back. Why? To me, when it first started, I thought, look, Tucker is being a habitual iconoclast. But he's being an iconoclast in a juvenile way, right? I try to be an iconoclast, but I try to be an iconoclast with ideas, with facts, with history. And I'm like, this is a parody of what it means to be an iconoclast. In the same way that, say, Candace's, quote, investigations are a parody of, like, Columbo, right? She's conducting a, quote, personal investigation. She recruits her minions to be kind of delegated, deputized investigators. The whole thing has an element of sort of surreal comedy to black comedy, so to speak. I don't mean black in the racial sense, of course. With Tucker, I end up saying, look, I have to bow out of the attempt to psychologize this guy. I just don't know. What I do know, it's dividing MAGA. It's bad for Trump. Ultimately, it's playing into the hands of not only the radical jihadis abroad, but also the cultural left in this country. This is something that I think we in the mainstream of the conservative movement have to politely say, but firmly say no to.
Seems to be like this hypocritical element, right? So you got people on the far right that don't even want to criticize bad ideas that they come up with, but they're happy to do it on the left. And I mean, considering that those people on the crazy far left, right, they have oftentimes lots of crazy, wild ideas. Not to say that those on the right don't have wild ideas. It just means we need to get to the point of stopping extremism in general. Like, is that so hard to do? But you got these people that go, oh, what about freedom of speech? Yeah, you've got freedom of speech, but when we come to extremist views and ideologies that usually incite violence, I mean, I guess it's there. It doesn't mean that we can't criticize you, but if you are inciting violence or if you are stirring the pot, as it were, if you are causing division, then we have every right to call you out and to call attention to it. And don't get Don't claim to be the victim if that actually is the case. And people like Megyn Kelly, okay, right? I like Megyn Kelly. I have done for quite some time, but her refusal to call out Tucker because Tucker is her friend, and her refusal to call out Candace Owens over the Charlie Kirk situation was disgusting. Disgusting, because she's like, my fight is with the left, not on those on the right. So the problem that we've got is you have people that call themselves conservatives that don't even want to get their fingernails dirty, as it were, by going, stop. These people on the radical right, the bad faith individuals, are making us in those that lean right, just the normal people, they're making us look bad. And those on the left will use those on the far right against us normal people. And Megyn Kelly's refusal to call attention to that, to call that out because her fight is just with the left and the left only. No, I lose respect for people that I don't care who you are. If you say the wrong thing, then you're going to get called out. You're going to be, because the truth is paramount. The truth is more important than, oh, I'm on the left or I'm on the right. Goodness me, the identity politics is infuriating. That's why I always say, don't go left, don't go right, go deeper into Jesus. It's Jesus who we need to focus on, not, oh, my ideology. No, focus on the damn truth for a change. It may actually do us all the world a good. So if Candace Owens were to say, which she has done many, many times over, the most provocative, craziest thing, Megyn Kelly refuses to call her out because she's a young mum. But yet she'll go after Joe Biden or Merrick Garland or someone that's on the left because that person is of the left. But because Candace says, hey, I'm on the right, see, it's like the identifying factor. What if someone is actually on the left but goes, guys, I've changed my tune, goes on the right, and then starts spouting all the crazy ideals of that on the left? What's Megyn Kelly going to do then? Oh, that person's a young mum. That person's super young. It'd be like Megyn Kelly refusing to go after me because I'm Australian. Oh, Jay's over across the pond. Doesn't matter. Who cares? Same thing with Candace Owens. Candace Owens is across the world for me. On the other side, no less. She's ages away. But her message is reaching far and wide, and it's a problem. And so as someone that calls myself a Christian and lives like a Christian, she doesn't espouse anything that is based around the Bible, and all the stuff that she has been spouting is a bunch of lies. And so someone that goes toward the truth, I see it as a personal responsibility and a duty to call her out and to call attention to the truth. I don't care if she calls herself a conservative or not, because quite frankly, she ain't living like one. I don't care if you're on the left or on the right. And that's the major difference between me and Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly's too adamant of going, oh, I'm a nice, I will, I will be harsh. I'll be firm, but when I want to be, to who I want to be, if they're on the left. Okay, Megyn Kelly, what about Anna Kasparian? Now she changed. See, the thing is, before Anna Kasparian decided to go libertarian, Megyn Kelly didn't even bother having Anna on her show. It only happened after Anna registered as being independent. An independent libertarian. Oh, boy, look at me. What's next? Is she going to have Dave Smith on? Mark my words, it's going to happen. Because she's got Anna Kasparian that works for Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks, for goodness sake, who absolutely loathes and hates Israel, mind you, and says that the Jews are hated by everyone in the world. That's who Megyn Kelly has on her show. Now, I do not care I do not care. If you say the wrong thing, you're getting called out. So what? That's our duty as Christians. Tell the truth. Not get sold out because you die. Oh, they're my friends. Hey, man, I want my friends to call me out. I actually respect them more for calling me out. A little bit of humility goes a very, very long way, doesn't it? Anyway, that's enough from me. But what Ben and what Dinesh were saying is true. And I think and I hope Megyn Kelly should watch this, and I hope that she listens. You guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.